You know what? You guys are assholes. That's what I think. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name's Ben. Let's fix my camera here. Woo. We're here to answer your shooting questions. We got Mr. Tim Herron.
What's up, guys?
Matt Hopkins, along with Mimi. Hi. Okay. Before we get started, we've got a couple administrative things to take care of. Number one, the program we use to record this is Hangouts on the Air. It's a Google Plus thing, and that's going away. It's going bye-bye. The way of the dodo. So hopefully we'll figure out a workaround. They say they're moving the functionality to YouTube Live, in which case we'll still be okay. But there might be a delay in getting the shows done while we get it figured out. This goes down early September, so we will see. Yeah?
Yep.
Guys? Yeah? Okay. Another thing, I haven't plugged it in a while, so it's a good time to do it. Practical Pistol Reloaded. That's the largely rewritten revision of Practical Pistol. If you don't have that and you want it, you should buy it. I just got Tim some copies of it. Tim, your totally unbiased review?
My unbiased review is I think it's a definite purchase. You want to get better? Buy the book.
I don't think so. I think you should buy it for toilet paper or giving it to a friend that you don't want to get better.
Or if you have a table that needs to be leveled, also another good option.
There you go.
If somebody's like, I want to get better at shooting, and you don't really want to help them, then just give them that, and they'll be like too bored to practice. They'll be like, oh my god, this is painful. Fuck this. Fuck the sport. No, I kid. It's okay. It's not too bad. The other thing is, many of you have tried the blue bullets. As a result of me plugging them on occasion, I'm going to do it again. If you go to thebluebullets.com, you want to try some blue bullets. Discount code is Stoeger. That's my last name. Put that in. You get a discount. Get you some bullets. I've gotten feedback from people who've tried them. Most people who try them like them because they are cheap and they function. So I shot a lot of them, tens of thousands, and I made a report to the guys like, "Okay, I shot a bunch of these bullets, and I don't really have much to say. I think I go where I point them, and that's pretty much it." So they're very undramatic, that's the way it should be with bullets, I think. What do you think about that, Tim?
I agree.
Yeah. Bullets just, you put them in the gun, they go where you point them. That's it. Who the fuck is messaging me in the middle of this?
The least amount of drama with the bullet, the better.
Santola, I'm sorry I won't be able to make it. I'll send him a thumbs up and act like I'm not mad. Okay. On to today's question. What's up, gangster? That's how he addresses me. That's cool. I feel hip. After taking your class, I've been consistently practicing in live firing once a week to twice a week, and dry firing 3 to 4 times a week, and also shooting club matches 3 to 4 times a month. I took your class about a month and a half ago, and I've made huge strides in my shooting. Where was I a month and a half ago? Where the hell was I a month and a half ago, guys? Oh, I know this guy. This guy's from Sacramento. We had a good time there. All right. He's made huge strides in his shooting, but a few days ago I had a terrible practice session. Have you or any of the retards, that's you guys, on your podcast, have bad practice sessions where things don't work out and you leave frustrated because no matter what you do, it doesn't change your results? And then he tells a story about how he was practicing accuracy drills and remembering this guy's shooting. That's a good thing for him to practice because holy shit, some issues there. But anyway, he couldn't hook it up on the practice session. He left the range very frustrated. So very frustrating range session. How do you handle that, Matt?
Go to something I'm good at and do that. That's the easiest way to do it.
You wouldn't just end the session.
I definitely would not just end the session. I would go to something I'm good at, complete that, and end the session that way. Always on a positive note.
All right. Mr. Herron, what do you think?
I'm with Matt on that. I don't think it's good to just completely traipse through a practice session like where it just, I don't know, you feel completely demeaned and upset with yourself. I would also maybe change just the drill that you're doing, or try try a drill that maybe is a little looser, like with the sight pictures or something like that. I mean, it sounds like he's got something he's talking about practicing accuracy drills where he had partials with no shoots up to the A zones on multiple sides of targets at distances of 10 to 15 yards. I mean, I don't know, change the distance that you're shooting those drills at, or change the drills completely, and I mean, just change the game. If you're going to work on accuracy and for some reason you're just not connecting, focus on a different part of the game for that practice session.
Yeah, so I think that's the general advice that you get from any not shooting, but any sort of sports training. They'd be like, if you're having a really bad session for whatever it is, stop doing what you're doing at the least, right? Don't continue with that. Change up, do something else, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's good advice. I don't think you want to sit there getting frustrated doing it wrong, where you can't make it happen for whatever reason. So yes, because of the logistics of going to the range and everything, I would, as much as I would be tempted to pack up and go home, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right, because it's like that's like one of your 2 days that week or whatever the hell it is. So you can't just kind of packing up and going home is not an option. Right?
Yep.
Not going to happen. So I think you should change up, do something else. And what I do like to do on occasion when I feel this way, I'll switch into a different drill. So let's say I'm working on one thing and I shoot it a little bit and I get better for a while, or I'm making some progress and I kind of stall and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting better at this, and I get kind of frustrated. What I like to do is do something else for a while and then come back to the thing I was just working on. Time and ammo permitting. I think that's a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, see, that wasn't so bad. So maybe he'll get helped out with that. I got a fun question here, guys. A good one. You're gonna like this. It's about squad selection.
Oh man.
Are you gonna paste it in, or?
What's that?
There it is.
All right. I'll be shooting my first big match next month, Barrie, Utah State Championship. Wanted to see everyone's thoughts on choosing a squad. I feel like I should squad up with a group I don't really know, and that shoot the same division as me, production. Therefore, I can focus on shooting and experience the whole match by myself, like a learning experience. Or would you guys recommend I squad with a group of guys I know? Thank you. Who do you like to squad with, Tim?
I can see pros and cons of both ways of squatting with a group that you know. I think a lot of it has to do with you as a person and how you handle stress or how you handle pressure. If you go to a big match or something like that, and you typically don't do very well with like big match pressure or something like that, I think it's kind of one of those things where squatting with a bunch of people that you know kind of reduces that amount of pressure, just to allow you to, I don't know, to kind of fall more into your own routine, or at least to find a comfort level and be able to shoot. I've also been on the opposite end of the spectrum where I've wanted to push myself a little bit more, and sometimes you get a little too comfortable with the group that you shoot with all the time. So it almost can at some point in time be a distraction to shoot with that group. And I've selected to shoot with guys that maybe either I don't know, or maybe I know one or two of them, but I also know that their level of seriousness is kind of up where I want my level of seriousness to be. So I'm kind of at that point now where I like adding a bit more stress to everything, just because it makes me have to push beyond that. So I learn quite a bit about myself, putting myself into more stress versus just trying to stay comfort and treat it like a local match. So I don't know. Like I said, I see pros and cons of both ways. So I think a lot of it just has to do with, like I said, that person's natural tendency or reactions to stress or pressure.
Okay. Hopkins, what do you think?
I mean, Tim had very good points there. The only thing I would add, this is going to be his first match, so I'd say go with the group you know. you're going to be hyped up and already enough at your like first big match to have that comfort level of the guys you already shoot with. I think that'd be good. That's what I would choose if it was my first match.
What do you do now, though?
Squad of people I like.
I
I don't really care who I squad with. I see the advantage to shooting with like equally good shooters or better is you'll like be able to kind of know where you're at and how you're doing. Stuff like that. But it doesn't matter as much as people think after a while.
I definitely agree with Matt on that too. If I see a bunch of people on a squad that I like, that I really enjoy hanging out with, but I don't get to see them very often, I'm at this point in my career as well. I also I'm more prone to probably jump on a squad like that because, yeah, you want to hang out with people that you like that you don't get to see very often either. So.
Okay. My strategy is like the normal situation is I'll squad with 1 or 2 guys that I know and like. Like if I'm going to a match and Hopkins is there, like I'll try to get on the same squad as him. And then beyond that, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be like a dude. If there's a dude I really don't like, then I'll try to avoid their squad. But that's pretty much it. I like to squad. I like to squad with people I don't know because it's a good opportunity to meet people. I don't give a fuck what division people shoot on my squad. Like I don't try to squad with people in the same division or different divisions or anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
Shoot whatever division you want. Have fun. But that's just me. What are your thoughts on that, Tim?
No, I agree with that. My recent experience at Area 3 this year was that way. Of course, I jumped on a squad that I didn't jump on. I asked to move to a Saturday-Sunday squad, and there was literally 1 slot left for a Saturday-Sunday AM squad. So I told the match director, I'm like, dude, just put me on it. I just need to shoot those days. So literally the entire squad was with people I didn't know. So, and it worked out. I mean, it was fun. Kind of like you said, got to meet lots of new people that I'd never met before. And not a single person was shooting in a division that I shot in or that I cared about, so it didn't bother me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anything to add to this?
No.
I can't think of anything.
Well, do you have time for another question? I feel like we do, don't we?
We do. Definitely. Those went by quick.
Yeah, they do. Oh, I found one that's gear related, so that'll go really fast.
Come on.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Here's a good one. Good morning, Ben. You've mentioned that you regularly make mistakes while training. My question is, how do you handle these mistakes? For example, if you miss your grip on the draw, do you consider it a fluke and ignore it? Do you devote more focus to your grip on the next rep? I'm sure your answer can vary greatly based on the exact circumstances and what you're trying to accomplish. Can you offer any generalities, or is every situation handled independently? So how do you handle mistakes in training, Matt?
Fix them while you're doing it. If I miss a grip on something, though, it's not going to be a huge thing. It's going to be like, just maybe pay attention to that just slightly more.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me tell you what I think, and then maybe this will spur you guys into saying something intelligent. So when I'm working on something, I'm typically working on one thing at a time, just one, whatever it is. So if I'm working on a drill that's trigger control or accuracy or some sort of shooting with discipline or maybe moving from one spot to another, that sort of stuff. So it could be anything, but I typically work on one thing at a time because that's all you can really think about, right? The one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the guy gave the example of missing his draw, or missing his grip when he draws. So if I'm working on movement from one spot to another, and I'm missing, I don't know, 5 or 8% of my draws aren't quite right. 5, 8, 10, 12%. You know, like that's a pretty normal percentage, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. It's the same as, like, let's say I'm dropping some points. I'm not shooting all A's. I'm dropping some points. I miss my grip sometimes. My reloads aren't quite perfect all the time. You know, like a few of them, I fuck them up a little bit. I ignore those mistakes. Those are just noise in the training, right? Because I'm in that moment, I'm working on movement. I'm trying to make that perfect. Okay, so I'm focused on that one thing, and if there's little mistakes in other areas along the way that are just sort of the normal mistakes that you make, I ignore that stuff. That doesn't mean anything to me because I'm working on one thing, and I'm not going to get distracted by other stuff. I don't try to work on everything at once. I'm trying to work on the one thing. Okay, so if this guy was training with me, he would probably be surprised at how I sort of ignore mistakes. To a large degree, I ignore mistakes. It needs to be something pretty egregious before I'll stop what I'm doing and address it.
Right, you'd be watching for like something that really trends, right?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm looking at the big picture, like looking at my shooting from like 30,000 feet, right, seeing what's happening, and at the same time trying to improve that one little slice. And I'm not going to get, I'm not going to get distracted by noise, by just bullshit. That's not helpful. So Tim, what do you think about what I'm saying now?
No, that's honestly that was kind of get ready to be the point I was going to make when you asked.
So you agree?
My opinion
Shocker.
on this, yes. Well, well, yeah.
I'm just
being
a dick.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're not going to hit 100% every single reload or 100% every single draw.
Oh, I think 90 to 95% is a good number, right?
Oh, I agree. Yes.
Like, if you're like 90% of your reloads are just like perfect, that's really good.
Oh, yeah.
That's a high number.
Absolutely. But yeah, like you said, if you're working on movement or something, and it, you know, damn, I bobble a single, you know, one reload where the mag just doesn't instantaneously go into the gun, I'm not really going to look at that unless it literally is like, I don't know, I see something trending, like every single time that I move, you know, at this speed or my body's positioned this way, I keep missing the damn reload. Well, then I see a trend there. I might then have a deeper look at that. But yeah, I mean, just missing it once or twice in a session or while I'm working on something, yeah, that's, again, it's, you'd be chasing your tail. Every single time you made a mistake and you just kept going back to correct that one mistake, you wouldn't really get anywhere.
Yeah. All right, Hopkins, is that kind of what you were thinking?
Exactly.
I love it.
I don't know how better to explain it than you did. I mean, it makes sense if you're working on transitions and you kind of flub the draw. You know, it's good practice to learn how to shoot like that because you might be doing it in a match and have it happen.
It's gonna happen in a match.
And you kind of just got to roll with it till you like do a reload or have some movement where you can fix it.
Yeah, I mean,
the better you are at adapting to that, you just got to go back to the basics and put the sight on the target and like pull the trigger straight back and not worry about the grip.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people's practice is like ineffective, is that they're trying to make everything perfect, every rep, all the time, and it's like, dude, it doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, for me, if I'm trying to improve trigger control, you know, then I'll be working on a trigger control drill, and I'll do, I don't know, maybe 200 rounds on the drill every other session or something for like 6 months or so, you know what I mean? Just so it's like it's over this long time span and lots of repetition on just one thing that I'm trying to improve. Because to make a real move on skill, it's going to take some really dedicated work to that one thing. Not like do the drill once, like, oh, I fucked up my grip a little bit, like, oh, better work on draws now. And they're like, okay, that's good. And it's like, well, what about reloads? Let's do some of those. And it's like, what are you doing?
And there's a lot of things that you do in drills where I will literally try to remove as much outside noise as possible. So if I'm working on transitions or something, I may not always start from gun in the freaking holster. You know, I'll start with the gun fully extended on a target and just work that one, that one particular part versus, having a whole bunch of extra stuff that, yeah, can become noise.
Yeah. I like it. I dig it. Well, another bang-up show, guys. All right, audience people, if you have a shooting question you'd like the answer to, go to bensteger.com. Get my email address. Email me, bensteger@gmail.com. I'll probably do your question. I mean, assuming it doesn't slip through the cracks. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Hey, do you two monkeys have any classes coming up ever again?
I don't see anything on my schedule for this year, which honestly I'm kind of okay with. But
Really?
next year I would like to hit the ground running pretty hard on teaching some classes and stuff again next year. I
I'm
had fun
just
doing that
doing
last
like
year.
individual like 2-hour sessions. I like doing that right now.
2 hours.
Yeah, like after work for 2 hours
So you shoot like 2,000 rounds?
and 2 hours.
I don't know. That seems like a lot. Seems like that'd be an awful lot. All right, buttfuckers. Peace out on this.